Do-Rag Wisdom here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Y2K 11.11.20. 62 days to inauguration. I want to first add here that the music you're going to be hearing in the background is by Jerry Goldsmith again, from his score for the television series, the 1960s television series Dr. Kildare. Please, folks, I'm a member of the Night Watch. It's my responsibility as a lifelong pessimist to be on guard for you folks. I want to start today with some general comments. Number one, New York City public schools are closing again. In fact, they've already closed. I am not surprised. Human activity has activated this virus, and now we can't deal with the punishment. I'm sorry, folks, but we learned as children, if you want to play, you have to pay. Because sometimes while at play, you are going to get hurt. You are going to make friends at play and enemies too. You are going to win, and sometimes, other times, you're going to lose. And if during a major pandemic, a virus activated by human activity, people still want to play and or go on as if all is normal, they are going to have to pay. We are all going to have to pay. Remember the movie Threads? We're all connected. All of us. A child does something wrong, remember, discipline, so that he or she learns and not do it again. The human race has to take its punishment too. And tragically, people had to die because of our species' negligence. This is all part of the punishment, ladies and gentlemen, that we must endure so that we never forget the role that all of us played in this tragedy. From half of us not voting in the Y2K16 to the thousands of us who abused the planet and its species. Nothing is going to be normal, goddess damn it, until there is a vaccine. And we have them coming. So the next time of us wish to eat an exotic animal, full disclosure, I'm not a vegetarian, spill our trash in the Amazon, or torch the aforementioned forest, remember the Threads, and a new, more deadlier virus arises, remember what we all lost in lives in Y2K20. And remember all those annual traditions with them. Maybe we learn from this experience. Maybe things will change. I am cautiously pessimistic. Number two, World War II General Patton supposedly said, and I paraphrase, that Americans love a winner and hate a loser. Fred Trump Sr. trained his son Donald to be a winner because there is nothing worse than being a loser. Ironically enough, the man is really a loser. You can see the result of this upbringing in our sore loser Trump. I was never taught to hate yourself if you lost something such as a game. It's only a game. In fact, being a sore loser was looked down upon during my upbringing. I think not only my parents, but everybody. Sore loser. We hated sore losers. Now imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. I live on Staten Island, so I'll use it as the setting. Imagine you are attending a youth soccer or baseball event. You've trained your kid to be as macho or as macha and as aggressive on the field as possible, except that you did not teach him or her to cheat. During the game, you witness all kinds of cheating from the other side, as well as aggression that is overlooked by the goddess damn umpires or whatever game that you're at. Soccer, baseballs, again, whatever it is. At one point in the game, your kid gets some unnecessary roughness because of some action on the part of a player on the opposing team. Son of a bitch! Finally, when you reach the end of this grueling and stroke-enabling event, your son or your daughter's team wins! Yay! That's how I feel about this win we have now. Great! Hold on! The other team is claiming that the result was a fraud. That your team cheated and were overly aggressive. They are screaming. And they are not accepting the results of your son's or daughter's victory. Think about this for a minute. Please, all of you, think about it. And we're on Staten Island, remember? And then use your imagination to craft what follows. I respect the memory of General Patton. In fact, he's one of the people I'd bring back to life from the dead if I could. That for another time. But do not agree that losers should be hated. I know what it's like to lose. I never liked it. It stung of humiliation and struck at the heart of what you may imagine that you are or are not. However, I always accept the loss with grace and with respect. With a smile on my face, I always approach the winner and offer congratulations. We must all act in a manner of faith, that if we work at our faults, we learn from our losses and maybe win that next game someday. On the other hand, a bad sport deserves nothing but derision and exile. Trump must concede and begin the transition process. Hundreds and thousands of lives, including the lives of his base, are on the line. So let's revisit that Staten Island youth sporting event, ladies and gentlemen. And the losing team refuses to accept their loss. The winning team, in a monumental rage, would get medieval on the asses of that sore losing opposing team. I know they would. Many macho schmecks, I understand, love Trump. And many of them, to their benefit, have always hated sore losers. Why would they accept such behavior from a spoiled, silver spoon in his mouth crybaby like Trump, and not from their obvious neighbors on this opposing team? Something, as Al Pacino said in the movie And Justice for All, is seriously wrong here. Our next part to this broadcast, Democrats must win the Georgia runoff. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of Mitch McConnell and his totalitarian, treasonous terror. Do you feel the same way? There are two decent human beings who happen to be Democrats in a runoff against two Trumpists. Their names are, remember them, John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock. If they win this January's runoff, the Senate will be tied equally between Democrat and Republican. And since the Democrats now are going to be in charge of the executive branch, Vice President Kamala Harris will be breaking all ties. Are you sick of Mitch McConnell? Do you want the Biden-Harris agenda to go forward for all Americans, and I really mean it, for all of us living here. I don't care if you voted for Trump or whatever. Everybody? Are you sick of the ways of Trumpist madness and teabagger obstructionism? If Ossoff and Warnock lose, President Biden will be hamstrung by Mitch McConnell and his disgusting degenerates of the damned. We would have to wait for the midterms to see if we can finally rid ourselves of the craven creeps. But knowing the Democrats as I do, they will find some way to screw up so their enemies, the Trumpists I mean, not the Republicans, not the real Republicans, not the real conservatives, can return again for revenge. I hate to have to think this way, my friends, but Trumpism is not dead, and 71 million plus voters who supported him must be reckoned with. And lastly, Supreme Court kangaroo justice and homophobe Alito, Samuel to other people, should keep his sewer shut when it comes to his personal opinions. He spouted some homophobic crap in front of the Federalist Society, an extremist right-wing religious fanatic group that is one of the powers behind the contamination of our Supreme Court. This group has decided that the court should be packed with extremist ideologues, no matter what the rest of the country feels. And Alito was clear about his feelings. Oh, it used to be marriage, one man, one woman, blah, blah, blah. If I was LGBTQ, I would be quite concerned about arguing a case before this partisan creep. If you are a union member for the environment or support a woman's right to choose, forget about getting a fair hearing in this disgusting partisan court. Sam Alito, homophobe, should be impeached and disbarred. I'm not a lawyer. I always understood that juries and jurists should be impartial so that everyone gets equal treatment under the law, according to our Constitution. So let me get this straight. All lower courts have to follow the rules of our Constitution, but the Supreme Court doesn't? Its justices, unlike the ones we are used to sitting in front of, can say whatever partisan crap that they want and still be allowed to try cases against people that they obviously despise? There is something seriously wrong here. And in order for progressive law to be protected, in order to protect our fundamental rights to have freedom from religion as well as freedom of religion, partisan extremists, religious extremists, jurists must be expunged from our courts. So, I also demand that 4 seats be added. 3 liberals to make 6 to balance the 6 conservatives set against them, and 1 swing vote, a moderate justice named Merrick Garland. In the meantime, the present Supreme Court should be boycotted. Its decisions defied until the court is composed of justices who represent all the people, not just those who believe in witch burning and religious, fascist totalitarianism.